Thank you for joining us today at Miniature Wargaming Labs. Today we're going to cover how I made a bagpiper for my Imperial Guard Cadian Regiment using standard Games Workshop bits and the bagpipes created by Anvil Industry. Hope you enjoy. In starting my conversion of a bagpiper for my Cadian Imperial Guard Regiment, I've already selected my pose. Went with some of the legs that are advancing, standard Cadian torso. I chose the head bit that looked the most like a Surly Scot. So that's the one I wanted. Now let's take a look at the Anvil Industry sprue for the bagpipes. Get the left arm, which will hold the majority of the pipes, and a right arm. The thing you need to understand about the Anvil Industry system is that they use torsos that have little insets for these little nubs. Games Workshop does not use that, so these little nubs will have to come off. But when we think about the Anvil Industry regiment's arms and compare them to the standard Cadian Imperial Guard uniform, the big difference between those arms would be the fancy gloves. They have a little bit more flair to them. And then there's a lack of the armored shoulder pauldrons right here. So you could just cut the nubs, fix them to the body, and call it a day, but I would like to get the shoulder pauldrons on there. That way it really stands out as a Cadian. Now I'm only going to do that with the bagpiper's right shoulder. The reason being is when you look at the left shoulder, a lot of the bagpipes hang over where I'd put that pauldron on, so that'd just be too much of a conversion for me. So here's how we're going to get started. So let's clip this guy completely off, his sprue. Now when you're working with Anvil Industry resin, you buy these, it will say in there that you should not file these because of the type of resin it's made out of. Sure, why not? Don't file this. That's the legal warning that Anvil Industry gives. So I'm going to take this nub off. Alright, so that one's ready to go. And then let's get the rest of this sprue off the left arm. Alright, and that's that. Alright, since this is GW plastic, this is Anvil Industry resin, I am going to use my standard Gorilla Glue. And let's see how much farther we have to get it to connect. That's a bit of a haul, even with the nub off. Because he's supposed to tie in right there. It appears that arm is not long enough. It appears that the torso for the Games Workshop model is a little bit wider than the torsos for the Anvil Industry regiments, which means how am I going to get these guys to connect the pipe to the bottom? So I think what I'm going to do is call an audible on this play. My original plan, this is the joy of conversion, is not going to work. My original idea was to cut this off, put a Cadian pauldron on, slap it together. However, the Imperial Guard torso is too wide. This is wider than a regiment's torso. So what that means is that these are not going to touch. But I still want a bagpiper, and that arm's kind of already glued on. So just to be sure, take that nub off. I don't think that's going to close the distance for me. Nope, just a little too short. So I think I'm going to do is I am going to cut the pipe off. I've cut the pipe out of his hand. So he's still got his hand wrapped around there. But all I have to do is get rid of this hand from the pipe. So let's see how that looks. So my intent is, I'll just take off the hand and I'll stick the pipe in there. I think I've got the angle I want. See, it doesn't have to be perfectly smooth all the way around because you're not going to see most of it as it gets tucked up. If you're going to do conversions and you're going to work with really tiny bits, get the tweezers. Aaron got these for me and they've been a game changer. Can't see it, but there's a little divot where that was supposed to go. And of course, since this torso is different, can't connect the arms, the pipe at this angle is going to collide with his uniform. However, that should be fine. Let me get some Gorilla Glue. I'll just stick the pipe here. That might actually be better, because I was wondering how I was going to put a rifle on him. And I thought, well, without the rifle, he'd just be a token, maybe a game objective here. But I can still give him pipes. The only issue is he'll still have a fancy glove and not have the pauldron, but I've got plenty of guardsmen, and he'll be a fun little bit. I'll probably still make it an objective bit. Now we'll come down to what am I going to put at his right arm now, since my plan has changed. I can go for a hand grenade toss. I think I'll steer away from that. I could go for a pistol, but that's more of an officer's weapon. Alright, I think I found the arm bit I'm going to use. So this is going to come off the H from the Imperial Guard weapon sprue. Alright, so this is from the Imperial Guard weapon sprue. This is the H bit, and I think it's not going to fit. Alright, new plan. Alright, I think the bit I'm going to use instead is this arm bit holding the helmet from the Cadian Command Squad sprue. So let me just get the mold lines off, and we always want to get rid of our mold lines. Use some of my plastic glue. So this is not what I intended, but I'm actually kind of liking how it's coming together. I could actually turn this into a statue. So, not my original intent, as I was hoping to actually have him play the pipes, but, you know, as an objective piece, as a statue, he looks like a surly guardsman about ready to play the pipes. So, we'll call that a day. Thank you for joining us at Miniature Wargaming Labs. We'll see you next time.